It's been nearly half a decade since the Maple Leafs have qualified for the postseason. The team is currently in the cellar of the Northeast standings. I recently spoke to Toronto to ask what it will take to get back to the top echelon of the league. Good evening, guys. I'm here with a very special guest, one of the most famous news anchors of all time, Katie Couric.
Hi.
From the Today Show to the CBS Nightly National News. How do you like tennis? A lot of stuff going on in the world, but you came here to a tennis match. Joining us here, Phil Kessel, the heart and soul of the black and gold. So far, a great year for you guys. Well, good evening, Leaf and Katrina. A beautiful night for tennis. I'm here on the VIP deck, and people are excited, fans of all different ages here, ready to watch this great competition between two legends, John McEnroe and Martina Navratilova. Now, I said heart and soul because you've played in about 138 straight games. What has led to this stamina, so to speak, and this determination? Against the big serving Australian Mark Philippoussis. And quite a match here alongside me, Jimmy Arias, who did face Jim Courier in the opening round, and it will be a tough one between these two finalists from last year. If you were the fan who did that during Barry Bonds' play, you're looking at yourself wondering what happened to your bank account. Talk about the hunger in the locker room right now, obviously early, but that has to be in the back of your mind at this stage in the season. But you seem to embrace the excitement at the Open. What is it about that tournament that makes you rise to the occasion? Let's move to the links of the PGA Tour for the opening round of the Crowne Plaza Invitational. Great event here. Sampras Federer, your thoughts?
Well, I'm excited. I mean, I've been coming here for 40 years.
He has the one-handed backhand that struggles against the Nadal topspin. Billie Jean King, thank you very much. The one and only here on NBC Sports Tennis.
I love this guy. Take care of him.
He'll have a recap of that game, so a real team effort. All three sports guys in today. This program will help almost 6,000 Providence middle schoolers learn the game of tennis. Major news in the big story this afternoon, the departure of Matt Cassel, quarterback star, as many critics thought that he would be challenging Tom Brady for the starting quarterback role in 2009. The Pats gave Cassel the franchise tag last week, but apparently feel that Tom will be more than ready to start in the fall despite recent injuries. In return for Cassel and Mike Vrabel, the Pats will get a 34th overall draft pick in April, which is the second round. I recently caught up with Pats fans at Dave's Bar and Grill in Warwick, and they had mixed emotions pertaining to losing Matt. Good evening, everyone. The national spotlight was on the TD Bank North Garden tonight as the Celtics and Bulls battled in Game 7 of what is being called one of the best playoff series in the history of sports. And there was a festive atmosphere for this one at the Garden. The Celtics trailed by 4 after one quarter of play, but they light a fire in the second, courtesy of solid shooting from Ray Allen. He scored a game-high 23 points. And Boston led by 14 at the break. Derrick Rose, the young rookie, cuts the deficit to single digits in the second half. He hits the floater in the paint, 2 of his 18 points, but Chicago couldn't handle the truth. That's Paul Pierce, the team captain, keeping Boston on top with a jam. He shot 6 for 17 from the floor for 20 points. Eddie House also had a solid night. Perfect from the floor. Boston wins 109-99 the final. They will face Orlando in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Game 1 scheduled for Monday night, 8 p.m. in Boston. Well, Gene, it truly was a memorable Olympic Games in China, not only for the fans, but also for the athletes. For many local Olympians, their experiences behind the scenes were just as memorable as the competition itself. The excitement started for the athletes when they went to a warehouse to pick up their free Olympic uniforms.
Every booth is a section where you got clothes here, you got shoes here, you got dress pants here, blazers here, buttons up, tie, belts, a bunch of other things.
And once they got to China, the hot topic was the food.
There was like Australian food, like I don't know, they had like dog and stuff. I didn't eat that either, but then there was a McDonald's, which is where I mainly ate while I was there.
I didn't touch nothing but McDonald's, nothing. McDonald's, Snickers, a little bit of watermelon, Fanta, Sprite.
Each country had its own apartment complex, and for Team USA, it wasn't exactly a hot spot.
We didn't even have TV. I watched the same movie over and over for almost a whole month. You know what movie that is? 300.
Really?
Yeah, because I had it on my computer, and then I was just, every night, just sick of this movie. But that was the only thing I had.
But the Olympic Committee did take care of its athletes.
But you had like a yellow card for a pass, and they scanned it every time you left the village and every time you came back, and every time you went into the cafeteria, you had to have it. Like, you couldn't get into anywhere without that pass. And for coming home, to fly home to the States, that pass was our visa. So if like anybody lost that, you weren't going home.
Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to keep the Olympic dream going for a few more weeks.
Every 4 years is really once in a lifetime, and it's just amazing how everybody comes together and to compete in this world, like, you know, no problems, you ain't got no, you know, it takes away a lot of negative things.